Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Pitch Talk.
We are fans of football dropping vlogs, blogs, videos and podcasts on the beautiful game.
Check out our videos on YouTube and Instagram's IGTV,
including special feature segments, vlogs such as
5 Minutes with the G,
The Straight Shooting View,
Coaching with JBK,
audio on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Podomatic, Spotify,
Mixcloud
and other podcast platforms.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook,
and our official website www.pitch-talk.com.
The pitch is where we eat,
the pitch is where we sleep,
and the pitch is where we talk.
I can see you now. I can see you now and then. I can see you now.
Welcome to
Coaching with JBK. Welcome. It's yours truly, your host, JBK. And it's been a good long time. It's been a good long time since we've last spoken. It's been one of those moments where we haven't spoken in a while. And the reason being for myself is that I've been a little bit of an ill, but it's not nothing special. I'm back to where I belong. Moving on from how I'm feeling great, so I'm glad that I've been able to speak. I'm just going to give you 2 vlogs, and the first one that I'm going to speak about is the whole situation and the debacle of players having to travel but not being allowed to play and just being released from their clubs to play for their country. So this is a debate that's been going on for years. It's not new. The only difference is that the circumstances surrounding what you need to do is. Okay, so what I mean by this is we've had a pandemic where players were either allowed to leave, they weren't allowed to leave, but if they were allowed to leave, then they would have to go through the protocols of when they get to the country of their origin, to self-isolate, or wherever they were going to be playing their next international fixture, they would have to self-isolate as per the rules of that country. And unfortunately, it's been helter-skelter for a lot of teams. So one of the things that was mentioned at the time was, if you do want to play your game, especially in the Premier League, you were not going to be allowed to leave. You weren't going to be allowed to leave, and that was for a lot of international stars. So this did happen. And it became a big thing, to the point where we had situations on different continents that didn't need to happen. So one of them being, we had a game between Brazil and Argentina, which started off with the national anthems, got through everything in Brazil, and then 5 minutes into the game got abandoned. Now, whatever the reason behind the ruling of this was, it wasn't handled well, and it really didn't look good, not just for Brazilian football, not just for Argentinian football, but just for football in general, for the political movements around the coronavirus and around COVID-19, to how people are actually dealing with things in different countries. It just seems like it's all over the place. It's not been dealt with rightly or correctly, as they say, and it might need a bit more of an update between every country who want to play football. So we've got a World Cup in just over a year's time. Just over a year. Again, that's something that needs to be addressed as well, because that's only just over a year's time as well. We've also got the qualifiers. So what happens if certain qualifiers don't actually get played? Then I'll be going through the notion of, well, they didn't have their strongest squad out, or they couldn't play this game because of COVID-19. There's too many implications. Now, it would be a lot more easier if the rules were universal, that players who are going to Brazil, Argentina, USA, Canada, Africa, Asia, regardless of whether you've got to actually isolate, just let the person know. Just let the team know. It might make it a little bit more easier for the selection, and it might make it a little bit more easier for players to know whether they can represent their country currently. Whether they can represent their country currently. At the moment, it is tough, but it needs to be addressed. It needs to be done a bit more sooner, and it needs to be done as quickly as possible so that nobody feels like they're having to deal with this ever again. Because we've got another round of games coming up in October and November, and then hopefully by December we'll know something a little bit more closer to who's going to be playing in what games before the start of the World Cup. That's the reality. We need to know, and it's not going to get any easier. We've also got, on another continent, there was a coup being dealt with in Guinea. I'm hoping there's a lot of people that are safe, but a game was abandoned because of it. So now we're having to ask ourselves the question: should we be playing these games right now, or is it just a case of just lay back and then hold and then wait? We'll play our games when we can. It's never safe when there's a political movement going on within a country. But when that political movement is now endangering the lives of a lot of people, millions, and endangering the lives of the football association and the players that represent it, then you have to ask yourself the question, was it worth actually playing this game? Whether they knew this was going to happen or not, you have to kind of go, all right, fair enough. How do we deal with this? How do we allow this to happen again? And that's the question that I think a lot of authorities need to ask themselves, politically and in a football sense. How much of the outside world is actually influenced through football? I don't think they really take it on board that football has a very massive power in either uniting or dividing a whole nation. That's got to change. It has to. They've got to recognise on the top levels that this is something that will be needed to change, and change it quick. So I hope that they find the solution, and it's not going to be something where we're going to be waiting for the solution to present itself in the future. Hopefully we'll get an answer, and hopefully we'll get that match being played once more in Guinea. But also, hopefully the pandemic will give us games back that we definitely need and definitely want, especially Brazil, Argentina. We didn't get to see it. Hopefully we will in the future. Hopefully. But yeah, that's my take on it. What's yours? I hope that we get to speak a little bit more. And as I said, looking forward to my next vlog, and also looking forward to hearing your views again from the footballing world. This is a political view that nobody else shares. This is just something that I've decided to share with you guys. I think there's a lot of players that need safety first before they actually go and play for their country. I think that is the most first and foremost. And I hope it really comes down to it. So, I will speak with you soon. Yours truly, JBK, signing out. Peace. Join the Pitch Talk revolution.
Check out the official Pitch Talk website.
www.pitch-talk.com